O fate-saddled child, O anguished traveler, O thou who art seared with bitterness, O thou anguished traveler, O lodestar who wanders in solemn duty, O thou anguished traveler.
The Halliators.
My name is Iselin Pacelli Majal Hulkenberg.
And guess what? I almost forgot to press record again. Good thing I caught that now. Which is fine because now we're beginning the game. What's going on? Sweet. Yeah, man, I've been wanting to play this game forever. My manager's like way ahead of me, so I can't really talk about much of the game. I can't talk about much of the game with him, so time to catch up. So I don't know how long I'll be going for since I got work in about 13 hours. So maybe about 3 hours minimum. I think this one's gonna be a shorter stream today. And I believe we're gonna leave off with Heisme. With my overflowing eloquence, I was able to convince Heisme of the significance of observing his training.
I see.
I suppose knowing the fighting style of your allies would help broaden your possible strategies. Yes, that sounds reasonable. Mark my technique closely then, and you'll learn the ways of the Shadow Guard. But proper training does take time, a significant amount of it. If you mean to tag along, I hope you're ready to be here for a while. This is the start of his quest, isn't it? Yeah, that's fine. Well said. A bit cramped in here though, right? Let's go to the woods nearby instead. Come on.
Now then.
Let's start with a little test. See if you can keep up with my movements. If your reactions are fast enough to match me, you win. Now, let's begin.
Huh?
You're wide open. Huh? Nothing personnel, kid. From here, it'd be a simple thing to slit your throat. You are careless. One more time.
All right.
I'll do it as many times as you like. Don't rely on sight. You must sense through your very skin. Your enemies aren't going to wait for you. Your body must move on instinct to buy time for your mind. How can I do that?
Well...
How indeed. Finding these answers is also part of the training. There's no clear answer, no correct way of improving, but at the very least, you can decide what you aspire to.
Then...
Want to keep going?
Then...
That seems enough for one day. Shall we share a drink then? Let us retire to my castle back on the runner.
Oh.
I found some fine spirits for myself, but even ambrosia would be tasteless when drunk alone. Would you like a cup of tea instead? Yes, a bracing drink, but nowhere near as good as the spirits back home. Do you miss your hometown?
Hold on.
No.
Not particularly. Talking with you just reminded me of my son. It's been a long time since I abandoned my home. My son died without ever seeing that village. He looked up tonight, you know. He had a stout heart in that little frame. might have grown up to be a fine knight himself had he lived. Another wish unfulfilled, I suppose. I'll never forget the day I cremated my son's body and mourned his death.
Huh?
Cremated? Ah, right. Everyone else buries their bodies as they are without giving them to a flame.
The truth is...
It is the way of the Yugif, boy. We burn the dead. Is it Yugif or Yugif? Yugif. Shit. We burn the bodies of the dead, leaving only bones. The soul is freed through the fire. Once released from the body, they go to their place in the beyond. Those who remain must lay the bones to rest, somewhere suitable for the deceased. However, I've yet to find a place fit for my son to take his final rest. I can't imagine he'd be happy for his bones to be eternally moving and disturbed.
I apologize.
Apologies, I shouldn't be talking to you about this. Let's find his place together.
No.
We've an important mission to accomplish. No room for detours of any inconvenience, boy. I can't put that burden on you.
Let's do it.
It's a favor for a friend.
Thank you.
Oh, you just got home. Nice. Long time no see. Sophie's back in the chat. Pizza in the oven. Just got home. Nice. What pizza did you say it was? Thank you for your kindness, truly. I'll do my best to return this favor through my efforts as your comrade. Thank you again. A toast, then, to cement our vow. You with a cup of delicious tea.
Cheers.
Yes, a toast, but not to mark my regrets. To commemorate our coming together and to the beginning of morning. Goodbye. I consent to Ismay's heartache for his departed son and his trust as a friend and ally.
My boy, are you watching?
That's good.
My thanks.
I don't think you spelled it right the first time. The second time was correct. That was quite a bite of that gyro.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
I feel like this stream's gonna be mostly be cutscenes. Now that it's time to go to Brawlhaven.
I've seen the state of the race with my own eyes, ladies, gents, and mad malcontents. If you wanted an update, here's your chance. So far, we've mostly seen gauntlet runner skirmishes and dueling mayhem. Now it's time for the real thing. Sounds like we've lost a few candidates already too. Poor bastards went after something too nasty for their head hunt and got themselves head hunted. We've got some candidates who have outright given up. No confidence. Can't blame them against these odds. And some others have bought and sold out of the race.
Come on! That's a bit unfair, isn't it?
I suppose money's power like anything else. Military strength's not meant to decide this race anyhow.
The question is, what's our final head count going to look like? Lots of unknowns left, people, and we'll not know the truth until the exhibition. A little bird told me one of our contenders has made a bold play in Martira. They might not even come out of it with a head.
What are they scheming then? Let's hear some details.
Sorry, chums, I'm just the crier. Can't speak for any one candidate in particular. Luckily, you'll not have long to wait now. With all that said, can't help but wonder how Count Luis is taking this, can we? My sources say he's not bothered with any of this. He's still gallivanting across the land, killing humans. And yet, even without a formal entry, Luis's voter base is still growing. Bound to have His Eminence Forden grinding his teeth that, for now, let's enjoy the show!
I wonder if he has his own agenda, this crier.
Right, everyone. Farewell said. Particulars packed.
All that remains is to ride to Oceania with pride in our hearts.
Watch out, Luis. You won't know what hit you.
Well then, off to the races, what? Old Barden's giving me a detailed map of the area.
Sounds like quite a journey. I hope it won't be as bumpy as last time.
Oh no, it'll be a sight smoother. But you've got wings. What are you fussing for?
Oh, there it is. Should have known the fatigue would hit eventually. About time I got some sleep. Heis, mate, why are you on my bed? You're relatively miniature, man. There are plenty of other places fit for you to sleep.
Yes. Splendid. Just magnificent.
What is he dreaming about?
I hope you've no designs on taking my bed. I have cut men down for less.
With friends like these.
Now then.
With friends like these, who needs enemies? So we're going to Brawlhaven now. If you punch it out south of Monteria, we'll make it in, say, 3 nights, 4 days or so.
Whoa!
Okay. Now, stormy weather there. We're gonna pass by, what's her name over here? Katharina.
Let's see.
There's gonna be a detour here.
Let's...
Hold on.
There's a city here.
Let's see.
This place here.
Okay.
Oh, hey!
Ha-ha!
Leaving behind the old castle town stricken by tragedy, the Gauntlet Runner sets off toward the exhibition of the brave. Their destination, Port Brawlhaven, capital of the Principality of Oceania. A world unknown to them. What will they accomplish? Acclaim? Or...
Can you hear me?
If you're for things to do, hop on over to the lounge. I fixed the plant culture chamber so you can grow seeds if you've got them. Thanks to Newish, you can now use the plant culture chamber in the lounge. You can use it to plant any seeds you have. Thanks to the magic of the igniter, your crops will be ready for the harvest the very next day.
What to pick?
Is it Idol's Day? That's all I care. It's Water's Day. What's the calendar saying? The day before we arrive. Okay. This is the kitchen. Good to cook because cooking won't take any time. This has been saving me. And I think I have to cook every meal at least once. But I can only cook one at a time.
Let's check.
Got it.
Quality meat is all delicious on its own, but if you prepare it with a little effort applied to the right places, it can taste even better. To echo something I've heard anyway. In other words, we can't just haphazardly toss things together. Proven combinations of ingredients will win the day. I began preparing the food with straw.
Got it?
Heat control makes all the difference with meat. Ready? This is the moment we've been waiting for. We must strike with a perfect balance between delicate and bold. Oof, with that done, we're nearly to the finish line. I wouldn't be so exacting if this was just my dinner, but when you cook for others, you've got to give them your best. We did it.
Let's not.
Yeah, you can only cook once a day. Okay. But it doesn't pass time, which is great. This must be the plant culture chamber. There's some seeds. If I plant these, maybe they'll grow.
Isn't that...
Wait.
Oh, wait. Does that take... Why does that take a day? Fine. So these plants.
Yep.
Finally bought a meat thermometer on me like a probe, and it's faulty. What is it? Just not showing anything at all.
The party sets off for Martyra.
Why was meat thermometer sensitive to me? Was it actually?
Under the hood, their gauntlet runner arrives in a land grown thick with trees.
Like it was shown on the stream, but not on the chat.
Before the sunlight,
because I can see it on the chat as well.
Deafening silence. The anticipation that follows a journey's beginning swells in their hearts.
Grove Camp. Did it? Weird.
Oi!
Hey, have you heard? There's a bath cask on the back deck now. I've heard enough whinging about not being able to bathe, so I whipped something up. It's not elegant, but it'll do the job. No doubt it will shake too much to use while traveling, but it should be lovely to enjoy a soak when we're stopped.
Speaking of,
I've heard that in certain regions, fruits and grasses are added into bath water to relieve exhaustion and strengthen the body. Should you encounter such items, perhaps you ought to consider a purchase. Thanks to Neurus, you can now use the bath cask on the back deck. Not only can you acquire mag by using it, but you can also add various bath salts to the water to improve your abilities.
The breeze feels nice.
But...
Do I go around the back? It won't flip on. Tried replacing the battery and it still won't. Did you order it online or did you buy it from the store or something? No? Oh, okay, you got it online. Hope you didn't pay too much money for it.
Let's check.
So I can cook once per day and once per night. Meat with a bit of chew can be nice, but I prefer a braise low and slow. When it melts the moment it hits your tongue, truly exceptional. Though that method does take forever, still, time should not deter you from taste. And once you taste it, you want to keep doing it. Season it well, then cook it until it starts to brown. It already looks good enough to eat, but we must endure.
Got it.
All that's left is to let it soak in its flavor. We must control the heat carefully now to keep our eyes on the prize. The aroma is surely whetting your appetite, but don't give in. The juice is precious. Not a single drop can be wasted. Coney stew. I forgot to check the toilets. Well, I need to check the washroom for free XP.
Got it.
Oh, I forgot about something. I wanted to start the stream off with a bit of reading.
What's this?
Because there is a lot of lore to go through.
What now?
A lot of lore, and I want to read it all. So, giant sandworm. The name for the biggest of the large annelids, popularly called sandworms, that dwell in the sandy environment between Grand Trad and Martira. Juvenile sandworms were sometimes hunted as delicacy ingredients, but the discovery of one particularly dangerous specimen causing travelers to lose their lives has made this difficult in recent times. There are whispers that it's not only its enormity that makes it dangerous. Tree of Prophecy, which is one of the places we visited, a towering, rich crimson tree of overwhelming presence that rises from the middle of the desert, roughly halfway between Grand Trad and Martira. In reality, it is a magical plant that feeds on ambient magla and its nutrients. As a result, it is sensitive to subtleties in nature, such as weather and earthquakes, and is said to reflect impending natural disaster through the color of its foliage. In recent years, both its leaves and the surrounding fog have been tinged red, a never before seen reaction. The superstitious wonder if this new omen marks days to come. Oops, didn't mean that. Imp's Den. A forested road near Martira. The dense foliage lends to poor visibility, making it a long-time favorite haunt of bandits. To protect their children, parents in the area warn them that goblin monsters, goblins, will eat them if they venture there. As the fairy tale spread, real monsters did appear, and even the bandits slowly diminished. So that's one of the dungeons I went to last stream, or 2 streams ago rather. A natural cave near Martira, complex tunnels dug by giant sandworms expand in all directions, and the strange network soon came to be populated by monsters of all kinds. Martiran locals know to keep their distance, but it's not uncommon for oblivious travels to venture in, seeking shelter from the heat, never to be seen again. Midnight Sunsands, a desert area in the Martira region where a number of small lakes are scattered between alabaster white sand dunes. The white sands there are actually made up of glass debris, though its source remains a mystery. A massive structure can be seen beyond the sand dunes, but from a long distance. The view is obstructed by sprouting water geysers from the lake, and from up close, it is too large to see in its entirety. Sand flash. An occasional weather phenomenon specific to the Martira region, where sand containing magla crystals is picked up by strong winds. The magla crystals sparkle in the air, creating a striking and ethereal visual effect. However, the fine sand particles can cause pain to the eyes and body, so locals stay indoors during the phenomenon. That's it on nature. Now, I'm about to get an ad, so it's going to be a 3-minute one for ads, so I won't be bothered by ads again. So be back in about 3 minutes. Okay, class is back in session. Oh, I just seen Fonz's message. Should be able to replace it. Not the battery, the actual thing. Hopefully. If it's dead on arrival, then they definitely should be able to replace it. I hope so, at least. Is the what's it called? Probe meant to be for work, or is it like just for your kitchen? Because I only ever see meat thermometers like at work, or like in like restaurants and stuff like that. I've never really seen them for home use. Teleportation magic, a magic of instantaneous transport activated by a curious device installed in Zaius' Gauntlet Runner. When Zaius imagines a place in his memory he wants to return to, the entire Gauntlet Runner can instantly travel there. An unusual magic that defies modern understanding. The odd device was installed at the Royal Palace's behest when Neurus was working on the initial design of the runner. Neurus only loosely understood the device as something related to magic, and its true function as a teleportation igniter was only revealed when Zaius touched it. History. Gigante Castle and the Lady of... Residents... What is going on? Okay, cool. Residence and Castle of the Lady of Martyria, Sanctus Joanna. Has a long history dating back to the Annex War. Unlike modern buildings, the castle was built with many secret passages in case of armed invasion. Even these days, the castle staff occasionally stumbles across new hidden chambers and corridors. Is there anything about the Annex War? Because I think I've only seen that mentioned in passing. No. Okay. Comero, a small farming village southeast of Martira that enjoys stable weather throughout the year, allowing agriculture and carrier pigeon husbandry to thrive. Slightly beyond the capital's influence due to its remote location, the village has long-standing, deeply rooted religious views. People can freely choose their method of burial upon their death, including excarnation with a sky burial, and as a result, Comero is often called a paradise for the dead. Travelers are struck by nostalgia at seeing its idyllic pastoral sites as it attracts new residents by its unique burials. And the abandoned tombs. Tomb close by Martira. In the days when Martira was a major stopping point on the route from Grand Trad to Oceania, the presiding noble family was at the height of their prosperity, and so ordered the building of a grand crypt befitting their status. However, Martira gradually declined in influence, and the noble's descendants passed into obscurity. The long-abandoned tomb is now a den of monsters. People. Heismay. A member of the Yugif tribe and a former knight whose eyes met outside Martira, a notorious man. He was long wanted for a series of kidnappings before it was revealed he'd been set up. Like all members of his tribe, he is extremely sensitive to sound and can detect many odd scant noises his companions cannot. Juna. Juani's sickness. A beautiful Nydia songstress. Excarnation is a wild barrier method. I don't know what excarnation is. I should look that up actually. Excarnation. Oh. That's a wild burial method. Excarnation. Just to read from Google real quick. Basically, it refers to the practice of removing the flesh and organs of the dead before burial. Interesting. Just feed me to the crows, honestly. Fucking hell. That's a bit much. I've got one more bit of this gyro. Yeah, you might be thinking, wait, didn't you eat a gyro during the Still Wakes the Deep stream? Did, but I bought 2. It was 2 for 1, so. Juani's sickness, a beautiful Nydia songstress whose extraordinary voice is praised through the kingdom. She often appears at major yearly events held by the royal family and the crown theocracy. She is also tremendously popular outside the kingdom. Her cohabitation with Louise. Oh, word? Her cohabitation with Louise leads many to suspect they are lovers, though in reality, she's more of an adjutant. Okay. Alonso Cortales, a young Nydia man whose words never lack some sort of deception, adept in both gathering information and deceiving others with it for personal gain. His victims tend to be the unscrupulously wealthy and influential. He's always aloof and never allows others to know what he's thinking, but he has a soft spot for his mother, the only family he has. Morris, a young Clamar soldier in Martira's guard corps, working as Barden's second in command. Unlike Barden, he did not trust Zeiss and the others, viewing them as bounty hunters from out of town. However, his attitude changed when he saw how diligently they were investigating. Eventually, he decided to give them an important clue about sand flashes he'd been withholding. Goddard Gunnell, a rogue candidate participating in the tournament, worked in demolition in the effort to rebuild Montaria after its annexation. Having had the experience of being replaced by younger workers, he announced his candidacy and calls to create a pension system to help support the elderly. Though the elderly support his vision, he is received poorly by the young and is criticized for being partial to the long-living rogue tribe. His gauntlet runner, the Horizon Star, is a modest but high-performing vehicle that is as earnest and strong as its rider. Fortune teller, one who makes a living by forecasting the weather with high accuracy. They use a staff that senses the flow of magma in the air. Many end up being from the Mystara tribe. Knowing what the weather will be like is vital, not only to farmers but for travelers as well, as heading out into the wilds in inclement weather is often fatal. It is said that masters of the craft can use the divine relic to manipulate the flow of magma and bend the weather to their will. We're probably going to be able to do that. Musician, a performer who can create music from the name of a place laden with a person's memories. From the name spoken, the musician identifies the person's memories and feelings embedded in it, unlocks them, and magically can reconstruct them as music. A skilled musician can uncover the listener's faintest emotions and evoke their deepest set memories, even for places visited long past. And lastly, culture, which there's a few for. Shadow Guard, one of the two divisions of knights that make up the royal order that serves the crown. The royal order of knights are split into the Holy Guard and the Shadow Guard, though when most speak of royal knights, they're referring exclusively to the former. New members of the Holy Order are announced publicly, and are thus required to excel not only martially, but also maintain traditional appearances for ceremonies and other rites. As a result, unofficial tribal discrimination is rampant, with most knights coming from Clamar or other similarly prestigious tribes. By comparison, Shadow Guard members are not publicly announced and are relegated to less savory tasks. It's common for knights of tribes far removed from Clamar in appearance or standing to be assigned to the Shadow Guard by default. However, as this means its knights are more explicitly chosen for strength and skill rather than prestige, some say that knights of the Shadow Guard tend to be more capable than those in the Holy Guard. That makes sense. Roast sandworm larva, said to have origins in past extermination efforts against the giant sandworms threatening Martira's livestock, and thus threatening their main industry, depending on animal husbandry. Some theorize the giant sandworms' increased aggression in recent years is because their young are being overhunted to make this dish. Ooh. Caden Workshop, a newly founded Ugeef-based gauntlet runner workshop. Gauntlet runners are primarily owned by the state and the wealthy, with most orders sent to trading companies owned by the Clamar or Rosant tribes. Little care is given to quality or performance, only maintaining the status quo. However, the Caden Workshop has been working diligently to overcome this societal disadvantage by demonstrating their technological innovations, and has gained positive attention in recent years. The workshop itself prides itself on the superiority of the component adjustment through high precision percussion, a feat capable only by the Ugeef with their ultra-sensitive hearing. That its successor, Lena Caden, has joined the tournament for the throne solely to promote the workshop without regard to the battle for the throne has become a point of discussion. And lastly, carrier pigeon, a method of delivering letters or parcels reliant on the bird's natural homing instinct. It has become standard to use pigeons to deliver urgent news, as pigeons are faster and cheaper than relying on traveling peddlers or merchants. Pigeons are most commonly used, but a variety of birds can be deployed depending on distance and speed required. It's not unheard of for a canny craftsman to accurately send a letter across the entire continent by infusing magic into the letter and employing a bird sensitive to Magla. And we are read up. We have been read up. It's night time. So I kind of want to raise my imagination, and I can do it with anyone, right? What is my royal virtues? It wouldn't hurt to get my imagination up, because I think about how, like, oh, there's stuff I can do here, like cleaning and laundry, I believe, which is somewhere else, and that raises my HP, but I don't think it's worth it anymore.
All right then.
So what I'll do is I'm just going to speak to... Actually, no. Wait a minute. I want to try out the bath.
Hey there!
I heard from Neurus, apparently we can either enter as it is or make it even better by putting something into the hot water first. Sure. Oh, fuck! I pressed X by accident. That's annoying.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws.
I didn't even see what I pressed, or what options there were.
That reminds me.
We'll arrive in the ocean this day after tomorrow. Hi, Ismay, you've erected a tent up above, haven't you? Do take care that you don't get carried off by the wind. I'm confident it will take more than that to pull the tent apart, though I suppose some caution is warranted.
Speaking of...
Worst case scenario, you've got wings. You could just fly back to us, no? My young friend, where did you hear Yugi are capable of flight? I hate to disappoint, but they're rather more for gliding. Okay.
Well then...
Free ingredients is always nice. And now let's go to the kitchen. Cook some grub. Two of these. This is for Hulkenberg.
Hey.
What is that? I have considered this topic for a while. Is it not true that meat tastes better when consumed by the mouthful rather than via tiny, polite little bites? 'Tis my preferred method, as you can luxuriate in its full texture while increasing one's jaw strength. The logic behind cutting meat into small pieces eludes me. I prefer only the most restrained application of seasoning as well. 'Tis best let the ingredients' natural flavors thrive. I'm not eating a single thing Hulkenberg cooks. Are you for fucking real? Hulkenberg does not season her shit. If animals must forfeit their lives to satiate their hunger, if animals must forfeit their lives to sate our hunger, then the least we can do to honor them is to taste the full glory of their sacrifice. Hulkenberg. We choose prime ingredients on this day. I dare say this meal will be quite exquisite when it is complete.
Good.
A pleasing aroma, is it not? That indescribable acridity belies the dish's depth. This is where I learn what the word acridity means. The quality or state of having a strong, sharp, or bitter taste or smell.
All right.
Does Hulkenberg believe in salt? Will potentially be the the title of this episode. Because honestly, I don't think she does. Plants. Plants.
Hey there! Whoa!
Salt is a scam. Something else in there? It's crazy this machine can make the soil fertile enough to grow these seeds in only a day. So, well, lots of things get attracted here, and sometimes things we didn't plant grow too. Oh, okay.
Hey! Later!
It takes up the day. I hate that it takes up the day.
All right, then. Where to?
Huh, interesting. Alright. Where is... Give me 2 seconds. Right, sorry. Right. Given that courage is very close. That's not what I was looking at all. We're gonna get stroll and do some maintenance and hone our courage. Maintaining two-handed swords can be a bit of a pain sometimes. They're heavier, so there's more to polish. Sometimes I forget how surprisingly easy it is to maintain one-handed swords. Its upkeep is one of two important qualities to consider. When choosing a weapon, what do you suppose the other is? Its durability.
Well...
That will contribute to its ease of handling, I suppose. Anything too delicate is likely unsuitable fit as a long-term weapon.
All right.
Okay. Almost there. We're so close. Once you find a weapon that's a perfect fit for you, care for it with all of your heart, and it will respond in kind.
Nura speaking.
This is Nearest. I've got something on the old girl's radar, so we'll be taking a short stop.
The city ruins come to view. This place once flourished through the excavation of magla crystals by migrant workers. The work was hard, but the miners were hardy and spirited, and the promise of riches lured many here. In its time, it may have rivaled Brilhaven. However, the promise of strong magla drew forth the humans. As tragedies climbed, it became a ghost town. Now only the threatening glimmer of the crystals remain, and with the promise of abandoned riches followed the thieves. For some reason, though, they all seem to scurry home empty-handed, gripped by fear.
Ooh, this is a nice place.
This is...
Oh, truly a harrowing sight. Look at all those crystals. Simply coming here is enough to wound the soul. A chill settles into my very bones as I consider what could have occurred here. Is this his hometown? No. Something wrong, lad? Did the gauntlet runner get the best of your stomach again?
No.
No, sorry. I was just reminded of something unpleasant. Are you okay?
Right.
Yeah. Sorry to cause you any concern. I know what destroyed this village. I've no doubt about it. This is the work of a human. Indeed, the scars left upon this place differ from the traces left behind by monster attacks or acts of war. Right. I don't know if the Magla crystals here are what attracted the humans here, or if the attack caused them, but my hometown will eventually... Stroll. I'll make no assumptions about what runs through your mind, but I would ask you to recall the time when we cut down the human at the castle and saved all those lives within.
That's why.
Do not allow your thoughts to dwell on negativity. The day will come where both this place and your homeland will flourish once again.
Yeah.
I suppose you're right. Oh, fun. Free wisdom.
Hey!
Oh, my stomach sends notice that our next meal is overdue. Why don't we head back? So I guess Neurus can read the room when he wants to, huh? Let's put this place behind us.
Here.
By the by, I made another drawing. This picture will bring viewers no joy, but it is an important sight to document nonetheless.
As the sun sinks below the horizon, the Gauntlet Runner arrives in a land dense with trees. The glow of the Gauntlet Runner pierces the dark, warmly enveloping them in its light.
Okay. Memorandum. Let's have a look at it now. A ruin north of Brilhaven, once a flourishing settlement full of migrant workers, come to mine the vast veins of Magla crystal nearby. However, dense as the Magla was, it soon attracted monsters and humans to the area. The workers fled for their lives, leaving the city an empty and ragged husk. There are occasional hopefuls who still risk expeditions to mine the crystal, but it is never long before they return home, empty-handed and shaking.
All right then.
Are there any way? Wait, let me do the bath again properly.
All right then.
This time.
Go.
Hell yeah. That's really good.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Quite.
The salty, we're reaching Bralshaven by tomorrow. Okay. The salty yet strangely refreshing aroma of seawater is already upon us. At this rate, we should reach Bralshaven by tomorrow. Seawater? I thought so. The air feels a lot more clammy, so I assume that's what it was. And so we put the forest behind us at long last. That must mean we've already ventured beyond where that cliff collapsed, barring passage. To seem it was fixed without a trace of its ruin. And speaking of ruin, Nuris, do you remember that we are relying on you for safe passage for the rest of the way? I should have cooked first, you know.